Alrighty then, final step for our self-eliminating practice routine when it comes to arpeggios, and my brain is getting a bit mushy now, I tell you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna connect our arpeggio shapes with the major scale. Okay? It sounds more complicated than it is. This is a master exercise. I think if you can just find a way to get through all the first 7 steps and end up here at step 8 and spend most of your time here, then that's a really good idea. When you can do it in A here, in all 5 shapes, you need to do it in the remaining 12 keys as well. So it's going to take you a while to complete this final step, but when you can do it, you know your shapes easily. So, A major scale. So we think chords. Chord 1, right? Chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, chord 6, chord 7, chord 1. Arpeggios. Chord 2, chord 3. So remember, we always want to stop on the 3rd. Chord 4, chord 5, 6, 7. It's a bit of hesitation there. Okay, so let's see if we can do it at a tempo. Sounds like Bach or something. Where am I? 2, 3. Woohoo! I did it! Don't celebrate for too long, because now we're gonna do the E shape. Maybe you want to play the scale, actually. Oops. Here, I actually like, instead of going down there, I like doing it this way. Play that twice basically. So we're coming from here, not there, finish on the 3rd. That's just a little modification I like to do, but you can just do it as normal. Always finish on the 3rd, always start at the lowest possible point. Next one. Chord 1, chord 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I suppose when you're going like this, you could actually stop on the root and then it kind of makes more sense in a way. So 3, because you're going up from there to the next one, right? So maybe you should do that. Yeah. Probably not finish on the 3rd and go to the next one. Finish on the root because you're moving up the scale. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Right. C shape. Play the major scale first. It's always a good idea. 7, and 1. This is going to be tricky because we need an electric really. So A shape. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. Okay, and then you start all over in D, 2, etc., etc. Right, so modification there was go back to the root and then move up the scale. But you could go down the scale as well, couldn't you? Still finish on the root then. I'm in D now, so yeah. What about if you go in cycle of fourth? Let's go back to key of A, E shape. And then to the cycle of fourth, so that's a D. Now you want to finish on the third, and then chord 7, chord 3, 6, 2, 5, and then finish on the third, and then 1. Yeah? The cycle of third. That's natural. That if you finish on the third of this first arpeggio, and we're doing cycle of third, that's gonna be the root of the next one. Third, chord 3, chord 5, chord 7, chord 2, chord 3, no, chord 4, sorry, chord 2, 4, 6, and then 1 again. So you see there's more variation here to be done, right? So you're thinking all the arpeggios inside the major scale shape. Okay, well, let's go up the scale. Let's go down the scale. Let's go in fourth. Let's go in third. Just like you did with the chord progression exercise. You should practice, or the chords exercise rather. You should practice all your chords inside the scale shape before you start practicing all your arpeggios. You know, it's that otherwise it's just too difficult. So start with the chords and then you come here to the arpeggios. If you can do that, the master exercise, the final exercise with the chords when you're moving through in all these ways, do it with the arpeggios as well. I mean, start off with can I do them all in each shape and going up, and then can I go down? Can I go in fourth? Can I go in thirds rather? Excuse me. Right. So that's all the arpeggio exercises. Remember, what we wanted to achieve was to play 4 different arpeggios. Minor 7, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, flat 5. All other bigger sounds like 9, etc. Arpeggio substitution, tritone substitution, where you're hitting all the crazy notes. They're achieved by using these first 4 shapes. And then just substituting them. The only one we missed out here really is the diminished 7 arpeggio. And that's because there aren't any songs that are using that. I'm not really there yet. Once you get into diminished 7, you're like way outside normal harmony. And we want to stick to this place here where we're just playing in the box. And maybe like a modal interchange, or we'll stay normal. We don't want to go crazy jazz here, because the reason for that is that people skip to that stage too quickly. So I want to just stop here with our normal 4 different chords: minor 7, dominant 7, major 7, and the crazy minor 7 flat 5, and a few little tricks, and then play loads of songs and get that nailed down. And then we're gonna go on to like diminished seven and chromaticism and all the crazy stuff. But you gotta make sure that if someone goes, well, no, that's not never gonna happen. No one's gonna come up to you and go, play this arpeggio. But if you soloing and you're like, oh, I need a C-shaped D flat major 7 arpeggio, there can't be any hesitation. If there is hesitation and you're like, oh, I'll put in a whole tone scale or a diminished scale or I'll you're not going to get to that point in a natural, organic and musical way unless you can do these first ones first. It's so important. I always see this. People just skip before they can actually do it. So if you can go through all these arpeggios in the major scale shape in all 12 keys, that's a great achievement, you know. Do that before you start learning your whole tone scale and your, the crazy shit. Make sure you can play in the box before you go outside the box. That's what I always say. Okay, I'll see you in another area of the SEPR, or even better, in one of the songs, right? Because you want to use this. You want to learn all these arpeggios, and then you want to use them in songs, and you want to be comfortable with them, and then we'll do the crazy shit. Okay, then, I shall see you somewhere else. Take it easy.